Hi, it's Liz. Nice to see you. Today we're going to be doing a mindfulness meditation with the theme of building self-compassion. And we're going to be centering our focus, the theme rather, is going to be on the cracked pot. So as you can see, I have a couple of examples here. But before we start, I wanted us to do a quick breathing exercise just to kind of bring us back to here and now, and maybe just to get out a little bit of kinks. So if you're sitting, standing, lying, whatever you are doing, just maybe roll your shoulders back, taking a couple deep breaths at your own rhythm, and ironing out those kinks, those things, how we feel maybe worn, not at our best necessarily, even just in a physical way, if we're cooped up inside. If it's raining and we're not even getting much exercise, so just giving yourself a little bit of a stretch, and then coming back here together. So the exercise today is about building self-compassion, and for me, I think that's probably been one of the most useful things that doing mindfulness on a regular basis has taught me, is how to give myself a break. So when I'm really caught up thinking towards the future, or looking towards the past of things I haven't done, or things that to the future I should be doing, a lot of this shoulds, a lot of that tone or voice that we have for ourselves about that we're not doing enough, that we're not doing it right, that if we get caught up in comparing ourselves to others, just that whole dialogue that we kind of have with ourselves, sometimes without noticing, and we can kind of even have grown up having that voice sort of that's self-criticizing all the time. And so building self-compassion, and how that kind of ties into mindfulness, is that we're supposed to kind of recognize where we are right now, recognize emotions, thoughts, feelings, and just letting them be exactly what they are, taking away maybe a little bit of their intensity. But the only way really we can do that is by being kind to ourselves. So that's kind of the goal of today, and I think it's an important one. I know it's one I have to relearn all the time, and in a context where I'm supposed to be working, supposed to be doing things at home, maintaining that sanity, having my child at home. All of it is just not what I think any of us expected right now. So, but in this, I guess, how we project for each other, sometimes also on social media, all the things that we're doing, it kind of can also be harmful to receive those and feel like I'm not doing enough, I'm not doing it as well as other people. So for me, coming back to here and now of, well, I'm doing good, I'm doing okay, I'm doing my best, and bringing it back. And the way I can just bring that back is just to come back and focus on exactly what I'm doing in the moment. If in the moment I'm making food, I'm making food. If something didn't get done that maybe should have gotten done, saying like, trying to learn to let that go. I thought it would be helpful to read a story that, when I first read it, had a big impact on me, and it's called The Cracked Pot. A water bearer carries 2 large pots on a yoke across their shoulders, up the hill from the river to their house each day. One has a crack and leaks half its water out each day before arriving at the house. The other pot is perfect and always delivers a full portion of water after the long walk from the river. Finally, after years of arriving half empty and feeling guilty, the cracked pot apologized to the water bearer. It was miserable. I'm sorry I couldn't accomplish what the perfect pot did. The water bearer says, what do you have to apologize for? After all this time, I still only deliver half my load of water. I make more work for you because of my flaw. The water bearer smiled and told the pot, take note of all the lovely flowers growing on the side of the path where I carried you. The flowers grew so lovely because of the water you leaked. There are no flowers on the perfect pot side. I think that moving on from that story would be a good time to work on loving kindness for ourselves. So often we can say phrases and think of other people that we may have concerns for or think of, and we wish them certain things. So may you be, popular phrases are, may you be free from physical harm, may you be free from emotional harm. I like to add in, may you find moments of joy in the day, and may you remember to be kind to yourself. So we're going to actually say those phrases, but this time we're going to say it for ourselves. So we're going to take this time and taking a breath, let's say this together. And you can have your eyes open, eyes closed, whichever you prefer. So, may I be free from physical harm. May I be free from emotional suffering. May I experience moments of joy scattered throughout the day. And may I remember to be kind to myself. And let's say that again. And if it's too hard to do it for yourself, it's a practice you have to build. And for some people, that is really a painstaking process, is to wish well for themselves. You can start by maybe wishing well for someone or something else, a pet, someone you do care about, something that's alive, could be a plant, whatever it is. Start with saying it for them, but then afterwards say it for yourself too. So kind of go back and forth between them, okay? So here we go again. May you be free from physical harm. May you be free from emotional harm. May you experience moments of joy scattered throughout the day. And may you remember to be kind to yourself. May I be free from physical harm. May I be free from emotional suffering. May I be free. May I experience moments of joy scattered throughout the day. And may I remember to be kind to myself. Let's do it one more time. It's hard to spend this much time on ourselves, I know, but it's important. It's an important process that we can take from this moment and generalize to other moments. And when we feel like we're really flawed, we're really not getting it, we have to kind of lavish that self-compassion on ourselves, just to free us from that perceived hold of sort of like, it's a form of self-harm really, that can take hold. So let's say it again for ourselves. And again, you can go back and forth saying or thinking it for something, someone else, and then back to yourself. But we're going to use the phrases for ourselves here. May I be free from physical harm. May I be free from emotional suffering. May I experience moments of joy scattered throughout the day. And may I remember to be kind to myself. Ernest Hemingway said, "The world breaks everyone, and afterward many are strong at the broken places." So the challenge is to acknowledge, allow for our broken pieces, our imperfections, our perceived mishaps, or just where we think that we haven't done right. We can notice it, but not remain in it. build ourselves up instead of tearing ourselves down, and just come back to the present moment, and even saying those phrases to allow for ourselves to be just kind with ourselves. Allow for those broken pieces, keeping them there, as we don't know really where our imperfections can be hidden blessings, or have a hidden impact on others. I think that being vulnerable with others allows other people to see in themselves and feel better about themselves, that they don't have it all together. And I think that's important right now, that we be a bit transparent, that we don't have it all figured out. How could we? But it's important to avoid posturing that everything is good, and allow for better connections with each other by having some humility, allowing for vulnerability and weakness, and just reminding each other to be kind to ourselves. So may you remember to be kind to yourself this week and every day, and that you have scattered moments of joy all over the place. Thank you. See you next time.